My name is Madhusudan Sarma and today we are going to discuss the question paper of CSAT Prelims 2024. In this question, as you might be aware that this is a qualifying paper, but many students have found it very difficult to clear even the cutoff marks. So that's why it is important that we pay high attention towards the CSAT paper, and in this video I am going to discuss the quant section. This is usually a section where you can confirm your marks. There is no debate about the answer, unlike the comprehension questions where there is some amount of discussion happens, there is some amount of dilemma is there, which is the right answer. In quant we get the answer. So that's why we will try to secure, or it is advised to their students that you should secure as many marks as possible in quant section. This year, unlike the last year, I felt that the quant section was relatively easy. You can tell your assessment of the paper as well, whether you felt it relatively easy or even more difficult if you felt so. But in my opinion, and most of the students also felt that the questions were relatively easy. However, not all the questions were easy. There were a few questions which were tough. So a student should have made this judgment on the spot which question to pick and which question to leave. In this session itself, we shall see that there were a few questions which were very easy, whose answer you could have got in simply 2-3 steps. There were a few questions which required some amount of calculation, some amount of lateral thinking. So a student should not get stuck on any question. If it is taking too much of time, you should leave this question and move towards next question. Especially for example, like the reading comprehension, a few were very easy, there were a small paragraph, so students should have done that. Some of the logical reasoning questions were really tough, especially those questions where a question was given and then it was asked whether the two out of the two statements, which statement can derive the answer. In the next session, I shall also be discussing the question of logical reasoning. Today's session is dedicated completely towards maths or quant related question. Yeah. So a few of our student is also saying that the paper was easy. So let's solve the paper and find it ourselves whether it was easy or not. So I have taken set C as a standard. So the question number that you are witnessing on the screen is from set C. You can match from your respective set as well, the questions remain the same. So this is the very first question. It is saying the two person P and Q enter into a business. P puts 14,000 more than Q. In such questions, what you have to do, you have to simply write the equation whatever question is saying. So suppose P has put P amount of money, Q has put Q amount of money. The question is simply saying that P has put 14,000 more than Q. So P is equal to 14,000 plus Q. Okay. Now P has invested for 8 months and Q has invested for 10 months. So usually you must have understood this, that the profit that several partners earn from a business is in the ratio of their investment into time. So the multiplication of investment and time is the factor in which the partners receive profit from their business. So here P is invested for 8 months, whereas Q is invested for 10 months. So their profit ratio would be P into 8 is to Q into 10. And the question further says that if P's share is 400 more than the Q's share out of the total profit of 2000. So 2000 is the total profit, out of which P is receiving 400 more than Q. So you can simply apply your mind and think that 2000 is total profit, what is going to be the respective profit of P and Q, so that P is getting 400 more. So you will start from 1000 and 1000 equal, but P needs to get more, so it has to get 400 more. So can I say that P will get 1200 and Q will get 800? This is the amount that they will get. So this ratio is the ratio of their profit, and from the formula we can say that this would be in the ratio of their investment into time. Now there are two equations, two unknown, we can always find the value of P. What the question is saying, what is the capital contributed by P? We have assumed it as P. So, you can solve these two equation and find the value. Let us solve the equation 4342. So, it is simply Q is equal to 2 by 3 into 8 by 10 P 2425. So, it is 8 P by 15. Okay. Let us write it here. P is equal to 8 P by 15 plus 14,000. I have placed this value in the place of Q in first equation. Simply it is 7 P by 15, take P towards one side, is equal to 14,000. If you are not able to understand the calculation, you can stop me then and there. I will explain it in a relatively simple manner as well. P is equal to 7, 2000, P is equal to 15 into 2, that is 30,000. So, 30,000 is our answer. In math, I always advise the student that you first solve the question and then look whether the answer is given in one of the options or not. If the answer is given, your answer is definitely correct. The correct answer is A, 30,000. If you have any doubt, you must ask your doubt here only, or you can later on comment in the comment section, and I will definitely reply to your answers or sorry, your queries. Let us move to the next question. Next question is still in the in the name of the same person, P and Q. So, P's salary is 20% lower than Q's salary. In the chapter of percentage, we study simple that if something is 20% less, it means it is simply Q into 1 minus 0.2 you have to do. 30% less, 1 minus 0.3. 25% less, 1 minus 0.25. So, Q into 1 minus 0.2 is P. This is what is given. If you are facing problem in this, then you must understand the basics of percentage. Okay. So, here we get an equation. Another equation is Q salary is 20% lower than R salary. So, here R again into 1 minus 0.2 is Q. Now, it is saying by how much percentage is R salary more than P salary. So, we have to get R in terms of P. We have to get a relationship between R and P. So, what I will do, either in equation 1 you replace the Q or you replace Q in equation 2. So, what I am doing, that I am putting this value of Q in equation 1. So, here I am writing 0.8 times R into 0.8 is equal to P. So, P is equal to 0.64 into R. Okay, actually this is asking about other way around. By how much percent is R salary more than P salary? So, what we have to get is R in terms of P. So, this you can also write it as 0.64 is effectively 4 by 5 into 4 by 5 into R P. So, I will write it here. R is equal to 25 by 16 into P. Simply I have brought these numbers towards left hand side. So, what will happen? This can be written as 1 plus 9 by 16. Can we write it like this? 16 plus 9, 25 by 6. Again, it simply, this expression shows that R is 9 by 16 percentage. If we convert this expression into percentage, this is our answer. Question is asking the same thing. R salary is how much more than P salary in terms of percentage? All the option is in percentage. Even question is also asking to simply convert 9 by 16 into percentage. 9 by 16 into 100. If you do the calculation, you get the answer as 56.25%. Okay. So, you should do all these calculations on your own. In exam scenario, even the calculation takes time. So, before exam, you must have the practice of doing calculation. It also your accuracy also needs to be high in the exam, because usually students who fail to clear exam, they do not fail by a huge margin. It is only say 2 or 3 questions which goes wrong and they fail to clear the cutoff. So accuracy is very important in CSAT paper. Let's move to the next question. It is a relatively easy question. First two questions were relatively difficult one. A number is mistakenly divided by 4 instead of being multiplied by 4. So suppose that number is 100. So the question is saying that it was to be multiplied by 4. So what was our expected answer? It was 400. But what has happened that someone has mistakenly divided it by 4. So what the answer that we have got? It is 25. So this question is simply asking what is the percentage change in the result due to this mistake. So what was the desired result? 1400. What is the percentage change? So the change is 400 minus 25. So our value is 375. Now we have to calculate percentage change. Here many students have made a mistake. What should be our base for calculating the percentage change? And I always tell that percentage change is always vis-a-vis the desired value or the original value. Okay, so here the desired value or original value is 400 into 100, 0, 0 cancel, 4 into 9, the answer you will get is 93.75%. Fortunately, in this question, if you take percent or if you start calculating percentage change vis-a-vis 25, you get a very high value. Okay, and you will definitely not find them in one of the options. So that's why many students first made this mistake and then calculated it by taking the base as 400 and reached to the right answer 93.75%. There is a doubt, let's address that. If we take our salary as 100, it will be easier. Yeah, that can also be done, Prashant. We can take in the last question, Prashant is suggesting that we should take our salary as 100. From that point of view also you can calculate. In an examination, 80% of students passed in English. This is again a question which requires a little bit of imagination. If we do some imagination, some making of Venn diagram, some visualization, it is very easy. Okay. So 80% of students passed in English, 70% of students passed in Hindi, and 50% failed in both the subject. So suppose there were 100 students. This box represents that 100 student. Out of this 100 student, this is the circle which represents the student who passed in English. This is a circle that represents the student who passed in English. Okay. The question says that there are 80 students in this because total students are 100. So 80 students are in this circle. This 80 includes the students which are common to both the circle. Okay. And then there are 70 students which have passed in Hindi. They are in circle number 2. Okay. There are 50 who are outside the circle. So in both these circle cumulatively, how many students are there? That is 100 minus 15, that is 85. And we know one formula, A union B is equal to A plus B minus A intersection B. A intersection B means those students who have passed in both the exam. Okay, we know A union B. A union B is 85, A is 80, B is 70 minus A intersection B. A intersection B means this common area, the student who have passed in both the paper. Can we calculate A intersection B? Definitely we can calculate. It would be 150 minus 85, that is 65. Let's see what question is asking. What is the percentage of students who failed in only one subject? So if I remove the total student who have passed, if I remove the student who have passed in both the exam, I will get the answer, because these are the students who have failed in one subject. ठीक है. These 15 students have failed in both subjects. So these are not part of our answer. These are the students, this 65 student, they have also passed in both the subjects. So they are also not the answer. So who are our answer? 100 minus this 65 plus 15. You have to remove this, those who have passed in both the exam and those who have failed in both the exam. Our answer is going to be 100 minus 80, that is 20%. B is our answer, isn't it? ठीक है. So Pratik wants this to be a relatively simple one. The simple one is like you can make this diagram very straightforward way. Simple, make a diagram, put number 15 here, 80 here, 70 here. ठीक है. If 80 and 70 total is 85, you can easily calculate the intersection area 65, and after you know the 65 and 15 is here, you can calculate that the out of these two circle the number of a student is 20. Okay, this formula, even if you do not remember, by simply visualization also you can solve this question. Let's move to the next question. A father said to his son, "N years back I was as old as you are now." Okay, these father-son questions are relatively tricky when it comes to understanding and relatively easy when it comes to making equation and solving them. So suppose n years back I was as old as you are now. So suppose the current age of the son's current age is x. So what is the father current age? Because father was x year old n years ago. Okay, suppose n is 10. So father is saying that I was x year old 10 years ago. So what is father says today? Simply x plus 10, and here 10 is n. So father is x plus n, son is x. My present age is 4 times your age n years back. Okay. So what was son age n years back? It is x minus n. X is son's age today. N is father's age. Sorry, n years back it is saying. N years back, x minus n into 4 is my present age. Present age we have written x plus n. So you have to read the question and formulate the equation. That's what you have to exactly do. And initially when you start doing the CSAT, you find it relatively difficult. But when you do practice, suppose you solve 10-20 questions, then it becomes very easy. You have to simply pay a little bit of attention, a little concentration, and you will be easily able to write these equations. If the sum of the present ages of father and the son is 130 years, so father's present age and son present age, if we do the summation, so summation is first let's simplify this equation. 4x minus 4n is equal to x plus n. So 3x is equal to 5n. One equation, this is what we have formed. Another equation is x plus n. Pardon my handwriting, x and n seems quite similar, so you have to pay attention towards what I am saying also, is equal to 130. So here we get another equation, 2x plus n is equal to 130. Now what we have to calculate? What is the difference in their ages? Difference in their ages is n. X plus n minus x is n. So effectively I have to calculate n. Let's see. So in this equation, if I replace x by n here, n is equal to 3x by 5. Sorry, we have to replace x because we have to find n. So x is equal to 5n by 3. So 2 into 5n by 3 plus n is equal to 130. 10n, it will be 13n by 3 is equal to 130. N is going to be 30. 30 is the answer. A option gives you 30. I will sum it up, all the things that I have done. First, I have assumed that the son's age is x years. In place of x, you can assume other numbers also, but well, some tricks or techniques can work in one question and may not work in another question. So that's why I prefer to teach those techniques which will work even if the language is changed, even if the question is changed. Okay, so if you presume x or have such things, it would be easy. Okay, so suppose son age is x years, father age would be x plus n, because the father is saying that n years back I was as old as you are now. Okay, now the second equation says that my present age is 4 times your age n years back. So 4 times son's age n years back was x minus n into 4 is equal to present age of the father, that is x plus n. So from here we get an equation as x is equal to 5n by 3. Another statement says the sum of the present ages of father and the son, that is x plus n, sum of the ages of father and son is equal to 130. In this equation you put the value of x from here and you get the value of n, that is 30. This is what was asked in the question, what is the difference in their ages. So difference in their ages is simply n, because x plus n minus x is n. So n, the value of n is our answer, that is 30 years. If you have any doubt, you can ask. This is a relatively GS question. It is less of a CSAT, more of a GS. All the three statement that is given is correct. 1000 liter is 1 meter cube, 1 metric ton is 1000 kg, 1 hectare is 10,000 meter square. This is something that is supposed to be memorized by the student. In childhood, you might have memorized that kilo, hecto, decaliter, deci, centi, millimeter. So those things they have simply asked here. The answer is D, 1, 2 and 3. This is an interesting question. This again requires some amount of visualization. What is the least possible number of cuts required to cut a cube into 64 identical pieces? So you have to visualize a cube, but for sake of simplicity, I will just first not visualize the cube. I will simply imagine this. There is a sheet of paper. This is one face of the cube, and suppose my cube is a cube of say size 4 centimeter. Okay, so its volume would be 4 into 4 into 4, that is 64 centimeter cube. So effectively I have to divide it into 64 identical pieces. So I have to divide it into cubes whose size is 1 centimeter cube. So all its sides, the cube that I have to get is having all its sizes as 1 centimeter. This is our agenda. How many cuts I have to draw to achieve this cube is the question. Let's see, this is 4 centimeter. First I divided it into two parts, one cut, 2 centimeter here, 2 centimeter here. Now I will make one more cut here and one more cut here. Now I will get 1 centimeter each. But then if you just imagine it, this will give you a slice of 1 centimeter, which has one of its dimension as 1 centimeter, but this dimension is still 4 centimeter, and probably the depth is also 4 centimeter. So what I need to do, I need to make such cut in 3 dimensions of the cube. The cube is a 3-dimensional object. Okay, so in all the 3 dimensions, I have to make these 3 cuts. In this dimension also, I will make these 3 cuts, and then there is a dimension of depth also. In that depth dimension also, I will make the similar 3 cuts. So the total number of cut would be 3 into 3, that is 9. Answer is B, 9. If you are not able to visualize it, you can simply pick a cube, any 3-dimensional object, and see how many cuts you would be requiring. Suppose we take this, imagine this is as a 3-dimensional object. Okay, so in this dimension I have shown you how you will make first 3 cuts this way, then 3 cut that way, x axis along x axis, along y axis. Okay, and then there is a 3rd dimension this side also. In this side also you will have to make 3 cuts, so total of 9 cuts would be required to cut this cube into 64 identical pieces. You can also visualize that after making these 9 cuts, I can take a cube from here which will have all its 3 dimensions as 1 centimeter. Okay. Let's move to the next question. Next question is, in the expression 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, a star is chosen from plus minus. Okay, so it's not into, it's a star, and the star can take different meaning. It can take the value of, it can take the expression of plus, it can take the expression of minus and multiplication. It cannot take the expression of division. Okay, each at most 2 times. So at most 2 times you can get this. What is the smallest non-negative value of the expression? So first of all, you got to look at what is the smallest non-negative value. That is 0. Is 0 given in the option? Yes. So first of all, your duty is to think, can I get 0? If I can get 0, that's my answer. If I cannot think of getting 0, say I will apply my mind for 1 minute. If I cannot get 0, then I will think whether I can get 1 or 2 or 3. Okay, so let's see. Can I get 0 in any way? You can please suggest how can you get 0 by 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I have solved this question, so I can tell you straight away. Like if you subtract 5 minus 4 minus 3 into 2, sorry, plus 2 into 1. But initially also in the beginning, I did some amount of permutation and combination to come to this conclusion. But if you do not do the permutation and combination, there is no other way of solving it. Okay, so if you simply say first you will do this multiplication, BODMAS you must be remembering. If you do not remember, you can make the error. So by using the rule of BODMAS, first you will do the multiplication. So 2 into 1, 2, then 3 plus 2 is 5, 5. Is it not? I am not getting 0. Tell me, is it 0 or not? Yes, yes, it is 0. So 5 minus 4 minus 3 plus 2. 5 plus 2, 7 minus 7. It is 0. Okay. Let's move to the next question. Now this question is about man and work, and there are 2 questions that UPSC has asked this year. Both the questions were relatively easy, and they have tried to make it relatively difficult by just changing the language. Question was not substantial enough. So let's see. A certain number of men can complete a certain piece of work in 6k days, where k is a natural number, k is any natural number, so 6k days. This is how they are trying to confuse their students. If they have simply given it as they can complete it in 6 days, a student would have felt more comfortable. But they have simply made it difficult by writing 6k, where k is a natural number. By what percent should the number of men be increased so that the work can be completed in 5k? So rather than, let's not get confused by k. Simply assume that first they were able to do the work in 6 days. Now they are able to do the work in 5 days. How many more men are required? So usually in this, say in this men and work kind of question, the man days is constant. So suppose I assume that initially there were 5 men, they worked for 6 days and they completed the work. The work is of 30 man days, and this 30 man days is going to remain constant. So suppose now we have people working for 6 days. So how many? Now we have to complete the work in 5 days. So in terms of days we have 5. So we have to get 30 man days work. So the number of men required would be 6. Simple. 5 men were completing it in 6 days. So 6 men would complete it in 5 days. Now the number of men required has increased from 5 to 6 and it requires no further calculation. You can simply tell by your simple understanding that the growth is 20%. How many more? By what percent should the number of men be increased? It should be increased by 20%. C is the answer. From 5 to 6 the increment is of 20%. Okay. So C is the right answer. Let's move to the next question. Again a man days kind of question, man and work kind of question. X, Y and Z can complete a piece of work individually in 6 hours, 8 hours, 24 hours respectively. Okay. However, only one person at a time can work in each hour and nobody can work for 2 consecutive hours. So suppose first hour the person working is X, the next hour has to be a person Y or Z, and next hour if Y is working, so next hour can be X or Z. Y cannot work consecutively, X cannot work consecutively, neither can Z work consecutively. This is what the question is saying. All are engaged to finish the work. Okay. What is the minimum amount of time that they will take to finish the work? Now you have to complete the work in minimum amount of time. So if you want to complete it in minimum amount of work, the person who is the fastest has to be employed the maximum number of hours. Okay. And that person is X. So what I will do, I will first employ X, then I will employ Y or Z because both are, in actual question it is 8 hours, it is not 12 hours. Yeah, there is a typing mistake in this question. So first I will employ X, then I will employ Y or Z, anyone, both have equal efficiency, they are completing the work in 8 hours. Then again I will employ X because X is the fastest person. So as soon as he is available, it's like in cricket, you always keep the fastest fielder in the field. So as soon as Ravindra Jadeja is available, he would be rushed to do the fielding. Whereas those who are the slower one, they would be shunted out as an impact player substitute. They would be substituted as and when possible. Okay. So simply there would be a combination of 2 hours. In 2 hours, first X will work, then Y will work. For sake of simplicity, let's remove Z altogether. Then again X will work, then Y will work, then X will work and Y will work. This is all what is going to happen. Okay, and say in man work kind of question, you got to just let's take an assumption that the total amount of work is the LCM of these two numbers. This will make your calculation very easy. So suppose we assume that these people are making chairs and they make total of 24 chairs. X make 24 chairs in 6 hours. So what is the efficiency of X? X make 4 chairs in an hour. Similarly, Y makes 3 chairs in an hour. The total work is of making 24 chairs. Simplicity, for the sake of simplicity. So now if they are working alternatively, in first hour X will make 4 chairs, in second hour Y will make 3 chairs. So in 2 hours they are collectively going to make 7 chairs. In 6 hours they are going to finish 7 into 3, 21 chairs. Then the work of 3 more chairs is left. I have to finish the work in minimum amount of time. So for finishing these 3 chairs, what I will do? I will again employ X. So X can make 4 chairs in an hour. X will take 3 by 4 hour time. Simple. 4 chairs in 1 hour. So now only 3 chairs are left to be made. So 3 chairs would be 1 by 4 into 3, 3 by 4 hour. So our answer is 6 hours from here. 6 hours plus 3 by 4 hours is 45 minutes. So answer is C, 6 hours and 45 minutes. A lot many students have made a mistake in this question. What they simply calculated is that they took like in 2 hours 7 chairs are made. Okay, 7 chairs in 2 hours. So 1 chair in 2 by 7 hour, and 25 chair was the total work. So 2 by 7 into 24. This is wrong, because in the last hour it is not the average speed with which they are working. Rather, in last hour only X is working, who is working with a relatively higher speed, that is 4 chairs per hour. Okay, so in these kind of question, in the last hour you must always calculate individually, taking on the speed of the person who is working in that hour, so you will not make the mistake. Is it clear? Just confirm if you have understood why I have taken this 3 by 4 hour, how I have got it. Okay. So it is slightly not visible, maybe it has gone in my background. So I will just explain it again. Like in 2 hours, you will finish 4 chair by X and 3 chair by Y. So in 2 hours, a total of 7 chairs would be made. My total work is of 24 chairs. So what I will do, 7 into 3, I will make 21 chairs in 6 hours. 3 more chairs are to be left. I will definitely employ X, because that is the fastest person that I have. X will take 3 upon X speed is 4 chair in an hour. So 3 by 4 hour in making these 3 chair, that is 45 minutes. Okay. Megha, were you able to see the understand the calculation? Just confirm. So next question says that how many consecutive zeros are there at the end of the integer obtained in the product 1 to the power 2, 2 to the power 4, 3 to the power 6 and so on. Okay. Very interesting question, requires a little bit of imagination. Okay, what is it? 1 is to the power 2, 2 is to the power 4. So you are having in the power double the number. So if n is the number, I mean the common term can be written in n is to the power 2n. 3 is to the power 6, 4 is to the power 8, 5 is to the power 10, 6 is to the power 12, so on till 25 is to the power 50. And the question is asking how many consecutive zero, and UPSC has asked many a times. Even one more question is there which is asking about how many zeros are there. So zeros, unit digit, these are important topics which UPSC has been asking for last 2-3 years. Okay. So how do you get 0? You get 0 by multiplying 2 into 5. So you have to simply understand how many 2 and how many 5 are there. And here, since like you have before 25, you will also have say 24 is to the power 50. There are 12 even number in between up to 25. So definitely there are a lot of 2's. The limiting factor is not 2, rather 5 is the limiting factor. So you have to simply calculate how many numbers of 5 are there. Okay, and see, the easiest way to do is simply look at this 25. 25 is 5 raised to the power 2 is to the power 50. It means 5 raised to the power 100. Then apart from 25, we also have 20, we also have 15, we also have 10, we also have 5, from where we will be getting zeros. 20 raised to the power 40 also will give us 40 zeros. Okay, so definitely the number of zeros is going to be more than 100, and there is only one option which is larger than 100, and it is D 200. So you can directly get the answer as 200 within a second or within a minute. But I will teach you how you can accurately, suppose they have given the answer as 200, then 300, 150, then this trick will not work. So you got to actually calculate how many zeros we can get at towards the end of this number. So you have to simply calculate how many 5 are there in this factor. Okay, how many 5's are there? So 5 will get where? When in the power of 5, we will get 5. In the power of 10, power of 15, 20, 25. So these are the 5 terms who have 5 as their factor, and these terms are going to contribute 5 in this whole number, complete number. Okay. So how many 5 are going to be contributed by 5? Because 5 is to the power 10, so there would be 10 5 from here. 10 is to the power 20, so I will get 25 from here. Then 15 is to the power 30, I will get 35 from here. 20 is to the power 40, I will get 45 from here. 25 is to the power 50, I will get 105. I have just shown you how I am going to get 105. Do the total. 40 plus 30, 70, 70 plus 20, 90, 90 plus 10, 100, 100 plus 100, 200 is the answer. So you must know how to calculate the total number of zeros at the end of any number. You have to simply calculate 5 and 2. How many 5 and 2 are there? If like 5 is too many, then you have to calculate how many 2's are there. If 2 is too many, then you have to calculate how many 5's are there. Okay, here in this question, 5 is the limiting factor. Okay, let's move to the next question. On January 1st, 2023, a person saved ₹1. 1st January, usually we take resolution, and this person has taken a resolution that I will save ₹1. But on January 2nd, he saved 2 more than that on the previous day. So on 1st January, he saved ₹1. On 2nd January, he saved 2 more, that is, he saved ₹3. On January 3rd, he saved 2 more than that on the previous day. So on January 3rd, he saved 2 more, that is ₹5, because on the previous day he had saved ₹3, and so on. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, his saving is continuously increasing day by day. At the end of which date was his total saving? So you have to take the summation of this series, is a perfect square as well as a perfect cube. So this is a series of odd numbers. Does any one of you remember the formula for the summation of a series of first n odd number? Anyone? Those of you who have attended my free CSAT lectures on my YouTube channel, they have definitely, learned this. I have taught you this, how to calculate the summation. You might not be remembering it right now. Chalo, I will tell you. The summation of this series of first n odd number is n square. Okay. So now the question is simply saying that this n square is also a cube. What is that value of n? What is that date? So you have to simply start thinking. 2 square is 4, not a cube. 3 square is 9, not a cube. 4 square is 16, not a cube. 5 square 25, not a cube. 6 square 36, not a cube. 7 square 49, not a cube. 8 square 64, it's a cube. I always advise the student to memorize the square and cubes of at least few numbers. Like in case of cube, you have to memorize it till 15. In case of a square, you should memorize it till 25. In case of table, you should memorize till 30. This is quite handy in solving these kind of questions. So 8 square is 64. This is also a cube, cube of 4. So what is the date? Date is 8th January. Because he has started from 1st. Answer is B, 8th January. If you if you do not remember the formula of this series of first n odd number, then what you can do? You can simply do the summation. 3 plus 1 is 4, not a square. It is a square, not a cube. 4 plus 5, 9, again not a cube. 9 plus 7, 16, again not a cube. 16 plus 9, 25, again not a cube. 25 plus 11, 36, and so on. You will keep on doing, and at 64 you will know that yes, this is a square as well as cube. So 8 is the answer. Okay. It will take slightly more time than if you remember the formula. Next question, let x be a 2-digit number and y be another 2-digit number formed by interchanging the digits of x. Okay, so suppose x is 12, then it is saying the y is 21. You have interchanged the digits and you have got the new number. If x plus y is the greatest 2-digit number, that is 99. So x plus y is 99, then what is the number of possible values of x? So 99, how you can get? You can get 99 by say 27 and 72, 36, 63, 45, 54. Is there another possibility? Yes. 18 and 81, that is also a possibility. So how many such numbers are possible? We have written here on the screen. There are 8 such numbers. Answer is D, 8. A lot many students have marked it answer as 4. They have said the 18, 27, 36 and 45 is the answer. Because the question is not asking how many such pair of x and y is possible. The question is simply asking what is the number of possible values of x. So if x is 81, then also it is 2, no? X is a 2-digit number, 81. Y be another 2-digit number formed by interchanging the digits of x. Then in this case, y would be 18. X plus y is the largest 2-digit number, that is 99. So both 18 and 81 can take the value of x. So our answer is 8, not 4. I hope it is clear. Yes, Megha, you are right. The question is not asking about pairs. Next question. Weight of 6 boys is equal to weight of 7 girls is equal to weight of 3 men is equal to weight of 4 women. If the average weight of the woman is 63 kg, so what is the total weight? Total weight is average into number. This is how we calculate the average. Na? Average is equal to total upon number. And so what is total? Total is average into number. Okay. So the question says that average weight of the woman is 63 kg. And how many women are there? 63 into 4. There are 4 women. Now this 63 into 4 is going to be the weight of 6 boys. And what is going to be the total weight of 6 boys? It is going to be 6 into average weight of 6 boys, which I am writing simply at AVG. The question is saying what is the average weight of boys. So I have to calculate this AVG. AVG is equal to 63 into 4 divided by 6. 2 into 3, 2 into 2, 3, 21. Answer is 21 into 2, 42. B is the answer. This was relatively easy question if you have practiced a few questions about averages, means, etc. Slide practice can get you 2.5 marks within a minute. This is a question on basis of clock. There were 2 questions on the basis of clock. How many times the hour hand and the minute hand coincide in a clock between 10 am and 2 pm? Same day. The paper setter has been very careful in like avoiding any dispute, etc. Okay, the same date from between 10 am. So you, in case of clock related question, you must draw the clock immediately. This is 12, 11, 10, 9. This is center. This is 1, 2, 3. The rest of the clock is not of our interest. Okay. So how many times the hour hand and the minute hand coincide in a clock between 10 am? So 10 am in this case, say minute hand is here. The hour hand is minute hand is at 12. The hour hand is at 10. Okay. So somewhere at around 10:52 or 53 or around 10:54 at this place, when hour hand would be there, this will rotate here and coincide. So once it will coincide between 10 and 11, once it will coincide between 11 and 12, once it will coincide between 12 and 1, once it will coincide between 1 and 2. There is going to be 4 times only. Is it true, or you have any other observation? Please let me know. No, in fact it is only 3 times. There is slight mistake. I will explain it again. See, first the clock is starting from here. It will go till here. Around 11 there will be first. So at 11 first coincide will happen. Then at exact 12 the second coincide will happen. After 12, say till 1 o'clock, there would be no coincidence. How? Because the minute hand would always be ahead of the hour hand between 12 and 1. Okay. So maybe at 1:06 there would be first coincidence. Okay. So at 11, 12 and then 1:06 once again it would coincide. Then till 2 o'clock the minute hand would be ahead of the hour hand and they will not coincide again. So the answer is only 3 times this coincidence shall happen. Let me explain you again. At 10 o'clock we are starting. So the first time the coincidence will happen around 11, few minutes before 11. So around 10:55 or so the minute hand and hour hand will coincide. Then the next coincidence will happen at exact 12. So it is taking slightly more than an hour in this coincidence. So from there only you can understand that if it is taking a slightly more than an hour, say 1 hour 5 minutes, it can at max in a duration of 4 hours it can cover 3 times. Okay, because it will require around 4 hours and 20 minutes for this coincidence to happen 4 number of times. So in a span of 4 hours it will only coincide for 3 times. Answer is A. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubt you can ask. You can also ask in comment section through comment. I would be happy to reply. There was an error in the PPT. Actual answer is A, 3 times. Let's solve the next question. The calendar for the year 2025 is the same for which of the following years? So usually in case of the calendar is same, it means that if 1st of January is Tuesday, May 1st of January in this particular year is Tuesday, which year the 1st January would be same. And if 1st January is same, the rest of all the dates are also having the same days. And one more things that we need to keep in mind is that if this particular year is not a leap year, since 2025 is not a leap year, then our answer should also be not non-leap year. In case of leap year, again 1st January may be same, till 20th February it would be same, but since there is an additional day in 29th February, the rest of the calendar would not be same. Okay. So here one concept that you need to understand, and that concept is that there is one additional day added every year. So if 1st of January 2025 is say Tuesday, I am just taking an example, I do not remember whether it is Tuesday or Sunday, then in 2026 there would be one additional day and this would be the same day would be Wednesday. In case of leap year, 2 additional days would be added. So suppose you are going from 25 to 2026, you have got one day, one additional day, and your answer would be when I will get 7 additional days or multiple of 7. That is our answer. Okay, so 2026 1, 2027 again 2, 2028 is a leap year, so I will add 2 additional days here. So now I have 4, 2029 I have 5, 2030 I have 6, 2031 I have 7 additional days. And I have to again check that if this is a non-leap year, 2031 is also non-leap year. So our answer is 2031. C is our answer. Okay. Megha is saying that 1.06 how we got in the last calendar question. To explain again. Okay, let me explain again. See, let's start from say 12 am. It is easy to understand. This is the clock. At 12 am both minute and hour needle or minute and hour hand are at same place. At what time they are going to be at the same place again? At 1 o'clock, this is going to be the scenario. Hour hand is going to be at 1, minute hand is going to be at 12. Again, in this 1 hour, they have not coincided. There has been no time in between where hour hand and minute hand has been at the same place. What is the scenario? Scenario is that throughout this 1 hour, minute hand has been running ahead of hour hand. Okay, what will happen at say around 1:06 or 1:05 or something like that? At this point, the minute hand would exactly be at the same place as hour hand is. Okay, so what is the time that has elapsed? It is slightly more than an hour. Okay, so because of this reason, the next coincidence which will happen is going to be after 2:10 or 2:11. But the question is giving us time limit only till 2 p.m. So, one coincidence has happened between 1 and 2. There is no coincidence between 12 and 1. There was one coincidence, like from 10 we have started. There was one coincidence here between 10 and 11. One coincidence between 11 and 12, or rather it is exactly at 12. The third coincidence happened between 1 and 2 at 1:06, and then there was no further coincidence. The answer is 3. Okay. Here it is mistakenly written as 4 times. Correct answer is A. I hope it is clear, Megha. Next question. Let P, Q, R and S be distinct positive integers. Let P and Q be odd and R and S be even. This is important. Similar questions were there in previous year also. Whether the summation of odd number is odd, whether the summation of even number is odd and even. These kind of questions have been asked. Okay, so you got to prepare the number system very well. The trend of asking too many questions from the number system is still continuing. So the question is saying that P and Q are odd number, R and S are even number. So the first statement is P minus R square into Q into S. So here only thing you have to understand is out of Q and S is even. So if you multiply an even number with any number, be it even, odd, prime, composite, anything, your outcome is definitely going to be an even number. Think of the example. If you multiply 4 by any number, the outcome that you will get is always going to be an even number, because in any even number there is 2. So definitely the outcome is going to be a multiple of 2. Multiple of 2 is going to be an even number. So P minus R square and Q, we need not know what they are, whether they are odd or even. Okay, so first is correct. Second is Q minus S into Q square into S is even. Now this is interesting. See, Q is an odd number, a square of Q is also going to be an odd number. So this is odd. We need to find out if any of these three factors are even or not. Okay, so this q square is odd. S, R and S is even, so S is even. So again, our answer is here. This is definitely even. Second is even. Third, q plus r square into p plus s is odd. Now let's see p plus s. P plus s is odd plus even. Odd plus even is always going to be odd. 3 plus 2 is 5. Because if it is an odd number, there is an additional one, 2n plus 1. If it is an even number, it would be 2 into something m. This is going to be even, but there is going to be one additional. So an odd plus even is always odd. So p plus s is going to be odd. Then q plus r. But I guess in the in actual question here, it is probably q minus s into q square only. S is not there. There is some typing error, I guess, here. In actual question, this s is not here. So that's why this statement is incorrect. Let's come to the third question. But I hope you are understanding the concept behind this question, which you have to apply. Q plus r square into p plus s. P plus s is odd. Q plus r. Q plus r. Q is again odd plus even. So this is also odd. Odd into odd is also going to be odd. 3 into 5, 5 into 7, all are odd. So odd square is going to be odd. So odd into odd is going to be an odd. So third statement is correct. In actual, this s is not there. Okay. So we need to find out q is an odd number. So odd number square is odd. Q minus s. Q is odd. Odd minus even is also going to be odd. So odd into odd is going to be an odd number. So second statement is incorrect. Okay, I repeat, in actual statement there is a typo here. S is not here. Q minus s into q square. This is the statement. Q is an odd number. It is given. Since q is an odd, q square is also going to be an odd. Q is an odd, s is an even. So their difference is also going to be an odd. The sum or difference of one odd number another even number is going to be an odd number. Odd number multiplied by odd number is again going to be an odd number. So this is not an even. Second statement is wrong. First and third are right. Our answer is, if s is there, then answer is 1, 2 and 3. If s is not there, answer is 1 and 3. Please check what the correct options are. Okay. There is a slight bit of confusion here. No, S is there, answer is D. D is correct. Okay, so actual statement has this S. So since S is there, our work is very simple. S is even, multiply it by any number. I need not bother. The answer is going to be an even number. Okay, so okay, so few people are saying that these are the questions which I have already discussed and I have made you solve. So those who have diligently attended those classes, they have definitely benefited. So I am also feeling good about it. Chalo, if you have not been able to do it next time. It's never late. What is the angle between the minute hour hand and hour hand? This is also something that we have discussed earlier in our classes. Let the minute hand moves 6 degrees per minute. 6 degree per minute is the speed of minute hand. You might ask how we are getting it, because 360 degree in 60 minutes, so 360 by 60 is 6 degree in 1 minute. Whereas our hand moves 0.5 degree every minute. Again, how we are going to get it? Because it moves for 30 degrees in 60 minutes. So in 1 minute, 0.5 degree. Now say in case of 4, time is 4:25. So just make a clock here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Our hand is slightly ahead of 4, because at 4 o'clock exactly our hand would be at 4, but at 4:25 it would be slightly ahead. This is our hand, but minute hand would be exactly here at 5:25. Okay. So usually between 4 and 5 the angle is 30 degree, but this hour hand has moved slightly ahead. How much ahead it has moved? It has moved ahead, say 25 minutes into 0.5 degree is equal to 12.5 degree. So this angle is 12.5 degree, but the question is the angle between our hand and minute hand. So this angle is our required answer. So this angle is 30 degree minus 12.5 degree, that is 17.5 degree. Is it clear? So let me explain you again. Minute hand moves 6 degree in a minute, hour hand moves 0.5 degree in a minute. So you will simply first make the diagram. Hour hand is exactly at 5, minute hand is exactly at 5 because the time is 4:25. Hour hand would be slightly ahead of 4 because at 4 o'clock it was at 4. In 25 minutes it would move ahead. This angle between any two consecutive digits, say between 4 and 5, between 3 and 4, is of 30 degree. Okay, so 30 degree minus, this is also we have seen 30 degree. Okay, so 30 degree minus the angle moved by the minute hand. So minute hand has moved in 25 minutes, 25 into 0.5, that is 12.5 degree. So this angle which is asked in the question is 30 minus 12.5, that is 17.5 degree C. Okay. Now question number 35. This is saying that 222 is to the power 333 plus 333 is to the power 222 is divisible by which of the following? So definitely when you see that this is such a big number, we cannot actually write the number and then apply the rules of divisibility. So we got to apply some amount of common sense. How we are going to solve this? So one thing I can clearly visible that both, this is number, if you write it this way, it would be feeling slightly better. 222 is to the power 333 plus 333 is to the power 222. Now you can see that this is also a multiple of 111, this is also a multiple of 111. I can write it as 111 into 2 is to the power 333 plus 111 into 3 is to the power 222. Here I will say one more thing. See, this 111 is common in both the numbers. You can take 111 is to the power 202 or something as common. So this number is definitely divisible by 111. Okay. Whether it is, if it is divisible by 111, 111 is 37 into 3. How did I get this idea? Whether it is divisible by which number? See, it is simply divisible by 3, 1 plus 1 plus 1. If you simply divide it by 3, you will get 37. Or by looking at the options, you can get probably it is divisible by 37. That's why they have given 37 in the options. Okay. So I have got that it is divisible by 37, but whether it is divisible by 2 or 3 or not, because 111 is divisible by 3. So definitely 37 and 3, these are the two numbers which is the answer. Now I have to also address whether it is divisible by 2 or not. So here see, it is multiplication of many odd numbers only. It is multiplication of 111 to 122 times. You multiply any number of times an odd number, you will always get an odd number. So this whole term is an odd number, because a power of odd number is always going to be an odd number. You simply imagine it. 7 is to the power 1, 7, 7 is to the power 2, 49, 7 is to the power 3, 343. 5 is to the power any power you take 5 or that of 5, you will always have unit digit as 5. So odd number, because you are multiplying odd number with odd number, you will always get odd number. So this number is odd. Here you have 2, and if you have one of the factor as 2, this number is going to be an even number, and even plus odd is always going to be an odd number. And if this is an odd number, it is not divisible by 2. So, it is divisible by 3 and 37, but not 2. B is our answer. And this was a interesting question. It looked very difficult on the face of it. It required you to apply your mind, your understanding of various level. Okay. If you have understood this question, next year if any question comes on the divisibility rule or at the unit digit or based on the odd number and even number concept, you would be able to solve it. So, there is a benefit of solving PYQs as well. It prepares your base for the subsequent years. This is an interesting question. What percent of water must be mixed with honey so that the mixture is 20% water by weight? Actually, probably there is some change in the question. Okay. The actual question was slightly different. In the next class, what I shall be doing, the rest of the quant section questions I shall be taking in the next class. Here again this question also I shall be discussing in that class only, because in actual question is slightly different, and this session has also prolonged for an hour or so. So, tomorrow the same time in the evening 6 p.m. I shall be discussing the rest of the quant section questions. If you have any doubt or whatever you have the feeling about this session, do tell me through the comment section, or you can also express your feeling by pressing the like button. So, must like the video, share it with your friends, discuss all the questions. This will prepare your base for the next year as well. You can follow me on my Telegram channel, which has the handle as Madhusudan, MADHUSUDAN_IIT. So, this is my Telegram handle where you can follow me, and I keep on posting a few questions. You can solve those questions and continue with your preparation. Thank you. See you again in tomorrow video.